Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with me, and we're going to make some reversible, and I know everyone's seen these probably on Pinterest and wherever else. This will be a reversible decor for either Thanksgiving, or if you flip it over, the other side we're going to do for Christmas, like in the Christmas bells that hang. So this side we'll do in like a pumpkin, and the other side we'll do in a Christmas bell. And I am using some chipboard, that just some regular old, out of a box, just simply because I have a blue million of them around here and we get in more every day. You could use chipboard for this if you want to, if you don't want to have these edges. I'm going to paint those, but if you want to use chipboard, you can. If you have somebody that can cut you some nice pieces of wood, you could use wood to do these. That'd be great. But I'm just going to use this. I'm going to glue two together so that it'll be a little bit more sturdy. And then I'm going to paint the edges. So let me, and I'm using some of my Aleene's Quick Grab tacky glue on this, just because I want to use some of this older glue up. And you can see this is getting very thick, so I'm going to try to use a lot of this glue up because I'm starting to use my art glitter glue. Sorry, my mind is blank today. But I need to use some of these older glues up on some projects so that I don't waste them. I don't like to waste anything. So this is going to be very thick and gummy, but I think it'll still work. Because your glues, once your glues sit around for a while, they thicken up. So I could add a little bit of water to this and it would probably be better, but I'm just going to use it just like it is. Now, I've had that one for quite a long time, so don't think that your glues, you know, are going to go bad in a month or two. That's not right. I've had that one for a long time, so that's why it's got so thick. And it's not that it's gone bad, it's just gotten thick and hard to use. So I'm going to stick those together like that. And then I'm going to put something heavy on this so that it will stick all the way around the edges and everything, and then we will be back and start painting on it and decorating them and that kind of thing. Okay, so that is all glued together, and now we're just going to use some white paint and just go around and paint these. And like I said, if you don't want this look, this kind of rough looking edge, you can use regular chipboard. I just want to get some of these boxes and things used up around here. We get a ton in, so it's time to use them up. Recycle. And once I get through decorating this, you won't see a lot of these raw edges anyway, so it will be fine. So I have done this side of the little pumpkin, and I'm going to show you how I do this. And I'm using just a cardstock, and then I am inking the edges in carved pumpkin, and I have just cut out the circle, or it's kind of a circle of the pumpkin, and then I just cut it out smaller to go here and here, and then just a small little piece to go there. I just drew it out. Don't try to get it perfect, because if you see pumpkins in the field, they're definitely not perfect. They're all different sizes. So I did that. I want to show you how I did it on the large one here. Okay, as you can see, I just took this, laid it on my paper, and cut that out. Just like that. You don't have to worry about cutting the stem out, but I just did that so I know about how to lay that in there like that. Now this paper does have kind of a shine on one side and a dull on the other. I'm going to use the shine side of it. I am going to use my art glitter glue, because the reason being, I'm going to show you the difference in using your art glitter glue. This pumpkin is done with a different type glue. You see how rippled it is, which I don't mind because, you know, pumpkins are knotty and rippled and everything else. But you see how rippled that is? when it dried, it just dried in a rippled effect because it was so much moisture in that glue. This is with the art glitter glue. You see how flat and great that is? It doesn't make the paper buckle, ripple, anything like that. So we're going to use our art glitter glue. And I'm just going to use my refill and pour some out on the back of this. And then I'm going to take my sponge brush and just kind of wipe it around. And I about let my sponge brush dry, so you don't have to get every area covered as long as you've got the edges covered good. That will work. Now I am going to take my tip here and I'm going to go around and just make sure that I've got those edges really, really well. So that's the part that you want to make sure that sticks down good. Okay. I think that will be plenty. Then you just want to stick it down. Now this does dry fast, but it gives you a little bit of time to kind of move things around. Make sure that you've got it where you want it. And I think that will work good right there. And I just rub it a little bit until everything adheres good. You could put something heavy on it and set it aside and just let it sit there for a while. Alright, I think that will work. And I'm just going to snip that off because we don't need that. Alright, and I should have done this before I put this down, but I didn't. So we're going to do it now. Take this is carved pumpkin. And you're going to go all around the edges. And this paper does have that little bit of glitter to it, shine to it, so the ink takes just a little bit longer to dry on this than it does on normal paper. And then I'm going to take my ink, go into it this way. Then hold it up and go to the edges. And then we're going to do this inside piece. And this is very unperfect, as you can see, or not perfect, I should say. But I just cut out a little, I don't know, oval that was thicker in the middle. That would be the middle part of that pumpkin. You don't have to be precise on this. If you have a Cricut and you can cut all this out on your Cricut, then that's fine. I just free-handed it and cut it out. When it all comes together, you'll see that it works. It doesn't have to be real precise on the measurements and all that kind of stuff. Alright, and then we're just going to go around edge just like that. Okay, so that is all that we're going to need of the carved pumpkin, I do believe. Alright, we'll bring this back in, and I'm thinking it's probably dry enough that we can work on it. I'm going to use some dimensional tape when I put these down so that it'll make it look more like that it's, you know, a circular pumpkin and not just flat. If you put this down there flat, you know, that's what you'd get. You wouldn't have that dimension to it. It wouldn't look like it was a circle. It would just look like a flat piece of paper that you put down there. So put a little bit of dimensional tape under there. And you don't have to put it all over it. Just get a couple of good pieces down. And I'm going to double mine just because this tape is just about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I want it a little bit thicker. This big roll of tape is one of the best investments that you could make. I've been using this thing for a year probably. I've still got that much of it left. Very good investment. A lot better than all those little pop dots. I'm just going to lay them down gently to see where I need them. I think that will work right there. And now we're ready to do the centerpiece. Again, we're going to double up the tape, make it a little bit higher off the other one to make more dimension. And then you want to put this one right in the middle of those to cover up that seam that we cut there. Press that down a little bit in the center. And there is your pumpkin. All except putting our leaves on and our stem and that kind of thing. See, that looks a lot more dimensional than just laying it down there, doesn't it? Alright, now we're going to work on some leaves. Now, I just cut these leaves out with my Cricut. Ink these up, and I'm going to start out with pine needle. So we're going to put that pine needle all over that leaf, just like that. Make sure that you get a lot on the edges. And then we're going to go in with some crushed olive. Bring that different color in there and those highlights. Just like that. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of vintage photo. That's going to give that little bit of brown to the leaf that they have this time of year. And now once we do that, I'm going to take my Copic marker, and this is BG99, and I'm going to hold the marker to the back side of the leaf, and I'm going to go around making sure that I don't have any white edges here. Plus this will darken those edges up and make it look more like a leaf and not just like a piece of cardstock. But if you do this from the back, if you make mistakes like that, no one will see. Do it from the front. Sometimes you mess up if you don't have a steady hand like I don't. Alright, see what a difference that makes? Alright, then we're going to go in with our G24, and we're just going to make some veins in here. So there's our leaf with the veins in it. Now if this doesn't seem dark enough for you for the veins, then you could go back in. This is BG96. You could go back in with this and make them a little bit darker. Because when this dries, it's going to be lighter anyway. Make those veins a little bit darker, like that. Okay. If you don't have Copic markers, use whatever you have. You do not have to have Copic markers to do this. And then I take the leaf. Now, I don't crumple the paper up because this is pretty heavy cardstock, and if I crumpled it, it would look horrible. But I take it and I just go around and I do some bending and rolling up of the edges, that kind of thing. Now I am going to make these stems a little darker. So see, there is our leaves. You take this and you turn it into these. So do that with all your leaves. You're going to need about 3 for each pumpkin, and I have different sizes. I have some small, some large, medium, that kind of thing. So do that for all of your leaves, and then we'll be back and put all of this together. Okay, we have our leaves finished coloring and put on here. Then we used some raffia and tied it in a bow and put it on top of that. And then this is just some cardstock that's cut very, very thin and curled up, and we put that there. So the 2 little ones are finished. We also we colored this the same way as the leaves and then put a stem on there, green stem. So I'm going to show you on the large one how we do that. We've already got our large one completed like this. I did the little stem, so we're going to glue that down. And just put that stem as close as you can get. I cut it in a little bit of a curve just so I could put it really, really close on that. And if you cut it a little bit too big, don't worry about it. Just flip it over and trim it off. You want it just a little bit bigger, but it doesn't have to be too big. And then I kind of rounded the corner off just a little bit. So. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to take my green marker, take it to the back side, and just go over that again to cover up all of that white. Alright, and then you are ready. Then you're ready to put your leaves on here. Now I put 2 leaves on the other one, and I think 2 leaves is probably good. And I don't know, this one may take 3. We'll put a little one right there in the middle. But I kind of want to have a little one just kind of laying down here like it was falling off. So I think I might just put 2 on there like that. And I'm going to use my hot glue gun to put these down. And I'm only gluing just right at the stem. I'm not gluing anything else. I'm letting that, you know, stick up like that. And I think I might want, I don't know, I'm going to put a pop dot on that one so I can make up my mind whether I want it hanging down there or not. So let's leave that like that. I think that will be good. Don't think I'm going to need the other one. I have some raffia, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Not tie it in a knot, I'm going to tie it in a bow. Not a knot, a bow. And just separate everything out and make it look kind of rugged and rough. Just like that. And then we're going to put that down right there. let's put, now this takes quite a bit of hot glue, and it takes a minute holding it because it does not want to stick on here. So we're going to hold that down just for a minute. Trim these off just a little bit. I think I actually do want that leaf laying down there. What do you think? Let's put a little pop dot on it and just look at it for a while, and if it's not what we want, then we can take it up. If we put it down with hot glue, we can't take it up without damaging everything, so we'll do it that way. Just see what happens. Okay, now we need to put our little curly cues on here. I'll show you how I made this one in just a second. I'm going to go up under the leaf and put it down. Just like that. Alright, just take a really thin strip of cardstock, a little skewer or something real narrow. Start on one end, start curling it around. Once you get it started, it'll go, but getting it started, that's the problem. And then just keep twisting and curling it all the way down. And you can do it as tight or as loose as you want. Now I just kind of twist them up and then just slide it off. And there you have a little curly cue from paper. You don't have to have wire to have your curly cues. Put a drop up under that leaf and lay that in there just like that. So there we have our little curly cues on that one. And I think I'm going to trim these off a little bit more. They're kind of sticking up in my way here. There we go. Isn't that cute? I think they're adorable. Now I'm going to show you all three together. So these will sit kind of like this. And they're going to sit on a little block of wood, a little pedestal like thing. And then on the back side, we're going to do Christmas ornaments. As you can see, I have them drawn out on there. So we'll have the pumpkins on this side and the Christmas ornaments on the other side. Now, what I did was I took a piece of scrap paper and I just traced that. And then I wanted this one to be kind of a swirl pattern. So then I took this, you could use a plate, a paper plate. You could use something like this. Just anything that'll give you that curve. But I just took this and laid it down. I found my center and I just laid this down and then just traced and then moved it and traced. I didn't measure between them. Some of them are bigger than the others, but I don't care. That's fine with me. But that's kind of the pattern that I have there going. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it on this green paper. And yes, I could have probably done it on this green paper to begin with, and then I wouldn't have had to done this twice, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted, so I wanted to kind of play around with it a little bit first. Alrighty, now what we're going to do on this is I'm going to cut like every other one out. So I'm just going to go on those marks up to the center point, and I'm going to cut every other one out. Okay, so we have that put together. That wasn't hard. The only thing is all of my centers didn't meet, so all I did was cut out a little circle and put it right there on the center, and I popped it up a little bit, and that kind of camouflages where all of my centers didn't meet. And now I also cut just a little silver piece of paper and put on there for the little thing that hangs the bauble. I am going to use some diamond stickles, and I'm going to go around each one of these little red pieces and just kind of give it a little bit of bling. Since my other ones have a little bit of bling, I'm going to, and diamond stickles are very, very pretty. They kind of take on the color that's around them. So this will show some green and some red, and then it also has some sparkle in it too. So there we go. And the trick with stickles is always to make sure that you turn it upside down and press the air out of the bottle, and then make sure that it's all the air's gone before you start putting it down on the paper. And then you want to hold the bottle just a little ways up off of the paper as you press on it. So here we are. We have that around those stickles around all of those red pieces, and then on that center I just put a circle around it, and then I put a little glob in the middle to make it look like a rhinestone or something. I think that's really pretty, and I used my heat tool to try to dry them up, hurry them up, because I am very impatient when it comes to wanting things to dry. Now I am going to take this ribbon. This up here at the top is dry enough that I can fool with it. I just don't need to touch in there. I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to put it right there. This is a pretty big ribbon, but the ones that I have on either side are pretty small, so I think this one will work okay. Okay. And then we're just going to fluff this bow up. This is one of those that has the wire in it. So we're just going to fluff it up. So that is our center one. And then here is one of the small ones. And here is another one of the small ones, and I'm going to have to, and all I did was cut little strips out that are in a curve on this up the paper. And then this is a little punch that I had, and I just punched that out and put it on there. But you can do these in any design that you want. If you want them little circles or, you know, whatever, just kind of go with your imagination of what you see on the bells that you have at home. Just do that. But I'm going to have to put a little hot glue under these rhinestones because they're not wanting to stick. But these were some that Tammy sent me. So there you have it. They're all finished. Now all I'm going to do is, these are just some blocks that I took. They were wood stamps, and I took the stamps off and I've just painted them white. And what I'm going to do is see if these will sit on there. Find me a good edge. And I am going to hot glue these on there, just like that. Okay guys, so that was our project. I hope you enjoyed it. We have all of our little baubles and pumpkins glued to these wood blocks, and they sit up very nicely. I know you can't see that on the screen. There you go. They sit up. We'll have one side as Christmas, one side fall. And I will take pictures and put the pictures in the beginning of this video and at the end. And if you have any questions about how I made anything, how I did this, just leave them in the comments below. Leave me some comments on this and let me know what you think about it and how you like it. It's all upcycle material except my ribbons, of course. And we will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.